Hello guys, it's your fellow investor here with another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about heavily requested penny stock HCMC, Healthier Choices Management Corp. I've covered this company and this stock on my channel already, I think at least 2 times, but it's been heavily requested in the comments, so I had to do some more diggings, and I actually found, thanks to a few of my viewers, very nice additional information which I will get into in this video, and I don't think anyone else actually covered it. If somebody did, let me know in the comments. In this video, I'm going to give you HCMC will win the lawsuit, why they will get a bunch of money, and where I see at minimum very conservative HCMC move after they will win the lawsuit. And as a cherry on top of the cake, I'll give you some SEC filing information which I don't think many people actually told you. But before we begin, I'd really appreciate if you could click on that beautiful red subscribe button and smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm so we can feed it. I put a lot of time into making these videos, so I would really appreciate if you could support me in this way. It's absolutely free and it helps me out a ton. So now let's get into this company. As we can see on 5 days chart, company is up 136%, but on Friday it actually went down almost 28% after it opened, which is not really what you love to see. But remember, we are here for the long haul, we're here for the court, for the lawsuit. So first let's start with Philip Morris, the company who HCMC sues, and why I think Philip Morris will lose this lawsuit. I actually did some digging and I found out that Philip Morris has been actually sued in the past, and most recent from April 16, 2019. And as we can see, it was against Juul, and I hope I will not get demonetized by saying this word, because it's not being really honest product, and I think it was really big boom. Everyone was, into vapes and stuff, but Juul, especially Juul, it wasn't the right move. And as we can see, there's been a class action lawsuit filed against Juul and Altria/Philip Morris. The complaint alleges that Juul fraudulently concealed safety information about how much nicotine Juul contains or delivers, and how about addictive its E6R. This is consistent with the fact that youth just don't know how much nicotine Juul contains or delivers, let alone understand its risk of addiction. And what was the catch in this lawsuit, or the problem with Juul, is that Juul and Altria fraudulently and deceptively sold Juul as non-addictive or less addictive nicotine products than cigarettes, failed to disclose the highly addictive nature of nicotine salts, failed to disclose that Juul is designed to create and sustain nicotine addiction, and actively concealed the nicotine content and nicotine potency of Juul. So overall, we can really tell that in past and along, like always, Philip Morris is doing something illegal. They just make this kind of money and they try to run away with it for as long as possible, and even after they get caught and they have to pay out money, they still end up in the best solution for them. But we are here for some numbers, so I was interested. Philip Morris has very recently announced its 4th quarter or the annual revenues and such stuff. Let's go dive into it and see what they have about their product IQOS, which is the main product of HCMC, and Philip Morris has been kind of using their patents. So if you look into 2020 full year, we can see that total IQOS users at a year and estimated at approximately 17.6 million. That's quite a lot of users, right? You know what does it mean? That it's potential 17.6 million users who bought IQOS. Therefore, there's a big revenue for Philip Morris. And I was really curious about finding that number, so I went into another of their files and found out that in 2020, 23.8% of total Philip Morris International net revenues from 2020, which was 6.8 billion, was concentrated or made from IQOS. Almost 1/4 of their revenue, that's huge. So if we do very quick math, let me whip out the calculator, we get 6.8 multiplied by 0.23, so we get very nice amount, which should theoretically go into the pocket of HCMC, because it's almost 24% of their total revenue was being used by infringing their patent. Therefore, they have right to sue them for this amount of money, which is $1.6 billion. So which is for that company of HCMC size is quite a lot. And it would move the stock price quite drastically within one day. And remember, there is huge hype around this penny stock. There are so many people look up into this penny stock. If we see that the company will get $1.6 billion, so how much theoretically at least should the price move after they will win the court? Well, let's do another quick calculation. If we move into HCMC security details, we can see that they have 165 billion unrestricted outstanding shares with current market cap $330 million. So let's use again a calculator and find out how much should be minimal value of this company after they will win lawsuit, and let's say they will get $1.6 billion. So let's add it into their current market cap, so 1.6 roughly plus 330, let's make it $2 billion so it's easy to calculate. So here we have $2 billion and let's divide it by the amount of shares, which is 165. There we go. And now just let's, see what it's equal to. It's equal to $0.012. So if the current price is $0.004, we can see that there's at least 2 times minimum profit. And if you ask me, that's quite a decent, let's say, minimum gains. And this would be really, if nobody would know about this company, I'm quite sure that some institutions would get into this. So even if they would only get this amount of money and it would be only 2 billion market cap afterwards, the stock would only move to $0.012. Something tells me that it will move way more because there are so many people watching this stock and putting a lot of hopes into it. I'm quite sure they could even buy more shares, or that even other people are buying shares and they're just waiting for the lawsuit to happen, and after it will happen they will buy in and flood the market. And the cherry on the top is information, almost 1 year old information, but it's still quite relative. If you scroll down in their annual report, and let me just highlight to see what I'm trying to show you, Vaporizer biometric fingerprint lock sensor patent. We have a patent pending for biometric fingerprint lock sensor that can be used in vaporizers. Wow. So just imagine, just fingerprint on your phone, you have it on your vape, so therefore nobody can steal it, and it should be more safer than it is now, or was back then. And why that should be important? Well, this could be huge on medical MJ users, especially in state California and New York. If this legislation passes that you need your own legal vape, well, this could really move the stock price as well. So that's another catalyst. So where I see the stock going in the short term, mid term, long term. In the short term, it's quite hard to say because you don't really know what's going to happen, if Wall Street bets are going to flood in even more, if some big players are going to get in. It's hard to predict, but I think we could somehow rely on the upcoming catalyst, which is the lawsuit. And I believe most of people think the same way as me, that that's already won for HCMC because of the company or the attorneys they've hired or the law firm they hired. Also, the HCMC CEO has over 2 decades of law experience as a lawyer, so he knows probably the people even in the company, but it's just my guess. But if he goes to court, he usually want to have a good plan. I think this man has a really clear plan in his head, and that's to win this lawsuit. Also, they intend to go after others in the tobacco and cannabis industry that has infringed upon one of over 20 e-cig patents they possess. So it's not ending here with the Philip Morris. I think they're just getting started. So in my eyes, this really looks like a long-term opportunity. It's under a penny. It's this very attractive, very popular penny stock. So you are in it with a lot of people. So we could see HCMC go to the moon more likely than to the bottom. I hope I brought you some value. If I did, definitely subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any new upcoming videos, and smash that like button if you haven't done so already. It's really tough to defeat the YouTube algorithm, but you guys were doing it quite well, so I'm really grateful for that. Also, let me know down in the comments below if you are in this penny stock, if you want to get in before the news drop out, or are you going to get in on Tuesday? I'm all ears. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.